Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, as you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today in a late night episode, isn't it? It's almost, switching around to the next day, to be perfectly honest, which is pretty wild. Not too often, I suppose, we have late night episodes like this, but I was busy for most of the evening, so that's just how it happens. That's just how the day unfolded for me. Anyway, so no more building up a backlog today. What I can do is I can continuously, not continuously, I can do a bit of admin work right now. Set some of these videos up to be released. When's this one even being released? I don't know. Unpacking part 7. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:53 PM on Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I mean, here's where I'd normally name, not the Animal Crossing episode, but the unpacking episode or the series episodes in general. But right now I'm not going to, because I don't remember exactly what happened in this episode. I mean, I have a vague memory, but I'm not sure if it was this episode or the other episode. So that's something which I should probably check. But that's something I don't really want to play the video out loud, I suppose, in the middle of this video. That's sort of like video reception now, isn't it? So I'm also quite thirsty. So taking plenty of drinks of water. Okay, hold on. When's this video meant to go up? So that one goes up July 4th. So this one should go up, I guess, July 7th. Is that right? That's not even right. No, it is right day. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a fantastic guess. That was a pure instinct, but I set it at the wrong time, Not for midnight. That is Animal Crossing time. Yeah, isn't it someone's birthday in Animal Crossing soon? I don't remember whose. Off the top of my head, but I feel like I remember I saw the post about it, but if Isabel said it, then I completely missed it, to be perfectly honest, which is not, great. I guess it's not horrible, but, it could always be better. I'm unpacking episode 8, and I'll just put my nice little placeholder title in. July 4th. Ah, yes, of course, Apollo's birthday is July 4th, that makes sense. America and all that. Lily, you want to change your, phrase? That is impossible. No need to change it. It is beautiful just the way you are. Yeah, I always put a placeholder title in, and luckily I feel like, I'm not sure if luckily is the right word, but fortunately it's not been something which people have seen for a while, mainly because if you see the placeholder title, which is just literally just 6 hashtags, you will have known that I forgot to title an episode, I suppose, before it went live. Normally I spend sometime like on the weekend just being like, let's think of titles for all these videos, and normally the series have themed titles of some sort, depending, sometimes it's quite difficult to actually put a theme in, so that's not always necessarily true, but I'm trying to think of ones off the top of my head. Like, often the story-based games will have a quote from that episode which I thought defined the video, that I did that with Amari. A lot of the times they're just sort of puns on something, or like phrases. That's one I normally do on series which I don't think are going to be that long, so it's a lot easier to do phrases, puns. Although, to be fair, I also did it with Cosmic Express, and Cosmic Express was like 40 episodes or something, so coming up with 40 like space and train puns is pretty insane in the first place, so I'm going to be honest. And then all these exploration ones like Tunic and whatnot, I always just name about like the area I explore to, because that seems significantly easier to name things for. It's hard to, I suppose, come up with puns or Tunic. I'm also, I'm using a green and pink Joy-Con today, which is why the Joy-Con drift is probably so wild. And Beacon Pines, I mean, you might be able to tell, I suppose, thus far, what the title theming is going to be. And the title theme is going to tell the story within the titles. What's been uploaded so far has been Once Upon a Time in a Quiet Little Village, 2 Boys Search for Adventure. I don't know, 4th, 5th, and 6th, will hopefully continue them. I don't know what I'm going to do with 5th and 6th, but we'll see. But I have noticed that tomorrow's episode of Unpacking has not, I don't have a title for. Which episode is this one? I don't remember what happens in this one. Oh, I think I do remember what happens in this one. No, do I? Is that one that one? It might be that one. I don't really know. Oh, we're talking about young insect enjoyer, otherwise known as Flick. Which makes sense because he's on our island right this very instant. So it's sort of like whoa. Good timing. So I have videos up to 11th of July, which is not as much a backlog as I would like, to be perfectly honest. But it's, yeah, I mean, on the weekend, well, maybe not this weekend. On Sunday, I'm going to be quite busy. But yeah, do I need a pre-recorded episode on Sunday? Maybe. I didn't actually consider that. I probably won't. I'll probably just do it in the morning, to be perfectly honest. It'll probably quite like a 9 a.m. episode or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to think that through timing-wise, but only up to 11th of July, which is not great because Art Fight is starting in 2 days. But I guess tomorrow I could probably record... I might be able to record 6 episodes tomorrow. That would be quite something. And that would bring me another week. So that would bring me to the 18th of July, which is about 2/3 of the way. So then that's fine, you know. Then I would only need to record about 10 more days of episodes, which is not too bad, I think. 10 more days of episodes, actually more like 9 days of episodes because of a week for Sunday. And they're short, you know. I can certainly do that on the weekend. You know, it's not like I'm drawing 24/7 throughout all of July. You know, sometimes my hand needs a break. Like right now, I keep forgetting that I should really be playing Animal Crossing one-handed, just to give my right hand a break. Because it's, I don't even know. I'm just sort of like miscellaneously talking about things today, I suppose. But I guess I should probably be talking about placeholder titles if we're going to do a theme, but, you know, give my right hand a break, because I don't want to develop carpal tunnel, especially because of how many of my hobbies require my hand. So it's quite often under stress or strain, so that's why often, you know, I try and use a mouse with my left hand as well, but not all the time, so I'm still thirsty. And you might be like, hey Lilang, why is your placeholder titles 6 hashtags, you know, or octothorpes if you're being very technical about it for some reason? There's not a very interesting answer to it. It's just because I remember a time way back when I did the original series of Spiritfarer, so this is very early on, in this channel's lifetime, I uploaded a video accidentally without a title. There just was no title or something. And it's because I didn't realise I didn't give it a title, because it's quite hard to notice. And I remember someone commenting, being like, "Ooh, you know, I guess no title for." Hold on, that sounds a bit passive aggressive. They just like were just like, it looks like there was no title for this video or something like that. And I was like, oh no. Obviously, it's not really that big a deal, but it was sort of like you know, probably should come up with a better system to make sure I title these episodes, because normally I do it on the weekends, and maybe that weekend I just forgot. So the Monday rolled around and it didn't have a title. And that's why I just have ended up using 6 hashtags for it, because 6 hashtags stands out. Like, I would never title an episode 6 hashtags, probably. And then, you know, it's a very distinctive shape. It doesn't really look like any other letter shape, I would say. So that makes it easy to spot, like in a crowd. I can immediately be like, oh yeah, I haven't titled this episode. I don't know why I didn't title any of the episodes this last weekend, to be honest. Ooh, new recipe, but it's quite a rarity nowadays. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can come up with some titles, I suppose, for these upcoming episodes. Let me think. Hold on. Unpacking. That episode... Oh, which one is this episode? I'm going to have to open up, because I genuinely don't remember what happened to this one. This one was ages ago. Ah, this one's this one. I'm not sure what I would title that. Maybe like companion room or something, but that doesn't really make sense. Twin room? No, it doesn't make sense. Partner room? Semi-detached. I'm just trying to think of like house or room puns relating to do like with a relationship, you know. I would say maybe episode 7 should be like detached house or something like that. I don't know. This will probably be something I'll do tomorrow morning, because it's quite late today. And if, you know, the unpacking episode, I suppose, gets uploaded tomorrow and there's no title, then you all know that I forgot to do that. But let's see, the Beacon Pine ones. I always say things heating up in Beacon Pines, so I'm not going to tell you the titles, because that will very much be spoilers, I suppose, for upcoming episodes. I don't know, if it's a placeholder I use or anything, whenever I'm working on something and it's like, oh, I need to make sure I come back to this, I always just spam a load of hashtags in a row. I think it's quite common for comments to be, in programming especially, to be sections to be delineated by hashtags. And to me, I think it worked, because they're very sort of like noticeable, you know. The thing with placeholders is you never want to have a placeholder where you come back to it, where you accidentally miss it, you know. You want your placeholders to be bold and, you know, brash and in your face, so you know you will definitely not miss it. You will definitely come back and replace it with what it needs to be. Because I'm sure there's been times where, you know, oh, you're ill. Oh, we can't get you medicine. All right, Raymond, you're just going to have to suffer, I suppose. I suppose we could make you medicine, now I think about it. It's been a while since we crafted something, but I'm probably going to forget about it within the next, like, few minutes anyway. So, oh well. Soz Raymond. Let's hope your immune system is strong enough. Okay, rocks, chop wood, take a picture, Brewster. Okay, can do all of those. Ooh, we can do. Yeah, so what was I going to say? I was going to say something about the placeholders, but I don't remember what. Oh my god. Please get me out. Take. I don't know why pressing B doesn't work with exiting the camera mode. If I trap myself here. Come on, cancel. I can do handheld, but I can't cancel. Why isn't it working? Excuse me? Am I just stuck forever? Alright, I guess I'll take a photo like this then. Maybe that'll... Oh god. Like, it's Joy-Con drift. It's not button drift. There we go. My word. You just like, you never want to accidentally hit the camera button with these Joy-Cons and you just spell the end of you. Yeah, so whenever I'm working on something, I always use 6 hashtags as the sort of delineator for like a, hey, I'm gonna, it's not actually like a comment, but it's like a, hey, this is a placeholder, make sure to replace this, or I'm making like a note in it, note of it, or something like that. So that's always the most useful thing. For me, I don't know. You can do your own sort of thing, but it's just like hashtag stand out, because there's no situation where you'd be like, oh, you know what I needed to put in here, 12 hashtags. That was definitely the wording I wanted to use over here. And it's like, I don't know what you'd even be writing for that. It's not even on social media sites where you would like use 6 hashtags in a row or anything like that. Even in programming, like, I mean, hashtags. I'm trying to think. Are often comments, and I don't even know what language it's comments in. There's comments in one of the languages. Is it Python? Yep, no, Python single hashtag is comments, right? I forget. I get them confused. If I need to do a comment, I either just look up the rest of the code, or I just try them and be like, oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it's Python. Python is hashtag comments. I think so. So it's very easy, I suppose, to make things stand out in that way, in my opinion. Of course, you know your mileage may vary, so that, I suppose that's not significantly up to you, but it's just literally up to you what you do. It's just anytime you need a placeholder, you just need to make sure it's bold and brash, so you actually notice it. There's no point of a placeholder if you're not actually going to replace it with what it needs to be. That's not a placeholder at that point. That's just a thing, I suppose. That's just like what you're actually writing, isn't it? IMO. Yeah, so I don't know. Just because I think the worst case scenario for a lot of things is obviously publishing something which had a placeholder in it which it didn't need to. It happened recently, because if you don't know, Reddit's got a lot of this drama where the CEO is doing some questionable decisions for the sake, not the sake of a company, I suppose, but more so that not so great for consumer and much more definitely targeted towards wanting advertisers. I forgot what I was going with this. And then accidentally one of his comments, he did like an AMA or something, and then one of the comments accidentally had like a colon part in their response, so basically showing out these responses were copy pasted and someone else wrote them or something. That's certainly something I think you publicly don't want to do, I would say. I mean, your mileage may vary. You might be like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to give away that sort of insinuation, which is alright, fair, I guess. if you really wanted to, I would say that's not advisable in my opinion, but you do you. Yeah, I don't know, placeholders. What's the best placeholder? Because you use placeholders for a lot of things, you know, like John Doe, Jane Doe are always placeholder names forever. For whatever reason. Although, to be fair, that's like the American one, isn't it? John Doe, Jane Doe. For whatever reason, there's like Joe Blogs. Is how I know it in UK. Or at least how I've heard it. Whether it actually is that or not, I don't know. I might have just made that up, but I feel like that's what it is. You know, Joe Blogs. Placeholder name. Anon. Oh, I remember when I was younger. I can't remember what site it was. It was like one of those like FML sites or something, where basically people just shared their own like thoughts about things that happened, or like they tell stories about, be like, oh, you know, this terrible thing happened to me. Well, not terrible, you know, bad thing happened to me today, or like MLIA, my life is average. I don't know if those sites exist anymore. I think it's very much just sort of like an ACNH cheeseburger era of the internet, so I think it's very much died out. But I remember they always used Anon as a placeholder name for people who didn't submit their name, and I thought any Anon wasn't anonymous. It was very much just a person called Anon, and I was like, whoa, this person called Anon has so many different stories. And it wasn't until I read two conflicting stories where I was like, this doesn't make sense, because it was like, and this one Anon says that, you know, she was a girl or something. She was a girl, he was a boy, she was a girl, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. Anon, well, I mean, I guess Anon could be, you know, but I was just like, you know, at the time I was like, this doesn't make sense. How could this be? It was a mystery. And then I was like, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, Anon just means anonymous, just an anonymous story submission. So now you know, I suppose. Although nowadays, I think Anon is very much associated with like people on 4chan, because they call themselves Anons, right, or something. I don't really know. Because I mean, I don't really use 4chan. It's just sort of like the lingo I've heard. But yeah, I don't really know how I was going with this placeholder. Sometimes, you know, you need a placeholder name. And my advice is, if you need a placeholder name, make it distinctive. Make it something very obvious. Well, okay, you should make it two things. One thing, it would not be bad if it was actually published as it, you know. And the second thing, make it obvious. You know, that's why 6 hashtags is pretty good. It's like, I mean, it's obviously like not rude or offensive or anything like that. I don't know why it would title something rude or offensive, but I suppose the same way that people write angry emails and then make sure to delete them afterwards and accidentally hit send, that sort of thing could happen. And it's very distinctive because 6 hashtags stands out from the Latin alphabet, I suppose, of the rest of the titles. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this episode off here, I think. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. Oh, I guess I'm off.